Hey, 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 hey. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, BusyBlu, and I am here with the one and only BB. Nobody puts BB in the corner. We're about to recap, review, talk about Married at First Sight, episode 8 and 9. I missed you, BB. How you doing?
I missed you. Ollie misses you too.
Hey, Ollie.
I feel like we haven't been on in so long.
It has been forever. It really,
Right?
truly has been forever. You know,
Okay.
we had our birthdays.
We did.
We had our
We
birthdays. I'm
did.
supposed to go somewhere else. Let me just put this over in this side for now so they can see how Married at First Sight thing. But we both had our birthdays. How was yours? How was yours? I definitely never talked to you about yours.
Oh yeah, and you didn't tell me about your weekend.
No, so you go first.
Okay, mine was really nice. My husband planned a nice like paint and sip thing at home that we did one night. So we did it on Friday night. And then he decided to post our paintings online and let people vote on our Insta stories.
I did not see that at all.
Oh, he's the only person who voted for his painting.
Oh no.
Oh, you know I'm an artist. Okay. So mine was great. Okay, mine was fabulous.
Yes.
And then on Saturday, I went and got mani-pedis with two of my friends and went out to lunch at our favorite guilty pleasure.
Okay.
Olive Garden.
So
we love Olive Garden. I know. I know. It's delightfully mediocre. And then, but it was like right next to the nail salon, and the nail salon was really nice. My nails came out really cute. So the service was really good too. So. And then on Sunday, my husband surprised me with a couples massage. So we went to this nice place in DuPont and got massages. I know, Lynn, don't judge me.
That's what she said, girl.
I said that.
She said, Olive Garden.
That you got that button, and I just knew I was going to hate it.
She said, Olive Garden.
I know. Whatever. I will not be judged. Those breasts will live in infamy. So we went to, my charger keeps falling out of my computer. We went to get couples massages, and then we went to a bottomless brunch.
Ooh. Where?
Teddy and the Bully.
Okay.
In DuPont.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So that's one of our favorite brunch spots. Yummy. Nice brunch.
For the rest of the weekend, because y'all do like to sit down and like watch TV and do stuff together. Y'all real cute like that. Did y'all just finish out the weekend like that?
Well, that was Sunday, so we were out for a couple hours on Sunday because we went out. We got our massages around noon and had brunch about 1. We left brunch at like 3-ish. Yeah. And then we made a stop at like a pop-up shop. We stopped and got some takeout for dinner.
Okay.
And then we kind of lounged and like, I think we watched a movie and ate like some really great chicken wings. And
that sounds like a dream to me.
It was really nice. It was really nice.
Going into this new, I feel so many good things. Sorry, y'all, I feel like there's something on my lash, but I feel so many good things coming into being 33. I'm not saying that she's 33. She's no day over 20. But I feel so good going into this new year of my life. Like I just feel full of positivity and like there's going to be a major change. And I'm excited about where my life is going. How do you feel? Like this year just feels different than any other year.
Yeah. Well, one, I have my theme this year. So my theme last year, if you notice, people have been doing like number themes with the ages that they turn. So like 32 is your magic year. Magic Johnson was 32, right? So technically, especially because I'm from Chicago, 33 should be my Pippin year.
Okay.
Right, Scottie Pippen. But I have named it my Pippin years and Pippin the Broadway musical.
Ooh, okay.
And so I've got some magic to do in my Pippin year, and I'm very excited.
Have you done your vision board already?
Yeah, for like the year.
You never invite me over when you're doing your vision boards, and your stuff be coming true.
You gotta manifest.
I'm a man to slap you, okay? Y'all
But
heard it
why are
here
you so
first.
late? Why are you asking me about it so late? I do my vision board
I
before
know.
New Year's. You
I'm
gotta walk
hoping
into it ready.
I'm hoping that you would invite me one of these times. And I was like, oh, you know, BB, she has hers
When
done.
else do I ever invite you to my house when you come to my house? You just show up. Come on.
That is true. But y'all, I'm telling y'all, BB's vision board is like a task list because she just can't exit off
Honey,
once it gets done.
honey, be great. Be great. Be great.
She can just
Commit.
mark it off. Y'all want to see my vision board for last year? This is so ghetto. This is so ghetto.
Mine is downstairs, but I can't walk away from the camera.
Boom! None of this stuff was done. I mean, I'm gay, so it worked. I did have gardens. I did do a lot more advocacy work. This is from the Advocate. It's the LGBTQIA magazine. If you guys get out or Advocate, they're amazing magazines. That was it. I did get better clothes. Barney, none of these hoes became president. I didn't get my car, but I am still growing, and I definitely had tons of gardens. And like I was out of this control. Yeah, just trash. Trash.
I'm not gonna show mine.
Yeah, all her stuff come true. Hers really is like a checklist. She can be like done, and done and done. But I'm happy.
It's about intentionality, about your time and your energy and your resources for the year.
You know how she tried to give up all the tips after this vision board time making. I am supposed to be doing a vision board. Somebody's having a vision board party online. And I said I would join it because, I think it's never too late. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a reset at your birthday. This is a fine time to do a reset.
So I think I'm going to
reset and do a new vision board with you.
I don't want your energy because yours is going to come true, and I already know it, and it's going to make me very envious of what she put on hers. What she got going on? I'm telling you, I don't know if she used a special type of glue, but BB stuff be coming true. Her vision board is a special
type of intentionality. Okay.
Okay. She posts with intentions. There we go.
But then you also have to post it somewhere where you see it constantly, so those things are on your mind. So
that's
mine
true.
is like in my office, mine is posted right above my desk. Mm-hmm. So I see it, even if I'm not deliberately trying to read it, I randomly glance across it all day long. And those things enter your psyche. Yeah, you have to post it. That's really important.
I could use this same one because this board was a lot of money. You know what? I blame the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, mine from last year was very shaky. It didn't go so good.
Let me. Never mind. I used glue on some of it.
Yeah, we just gonna start. We just gonna start from
the beginning. I'm broke. But y'all, let's get into Married at First Sight. We have not been.
You didn't tell us about your birthday weekend.
Something small. I did something small. I went to Houston with friends. So much fun. We social distance partied our lives away. My friends know me in Houston, and they're like, "Look, if Busy's coming down, like we had a booth and section. We were covered in every club, and every restaurant, sanitized down, and just partied and ate. I don't know how anybody in Houston is skinny because the food so amazing. I went to Turkey Leg Hub.
Did y'all go to Just Oxtails?
We didn't go to Just Oxtails. We went to
Turkey it's in a trap, but Lord, they know how to fry and smother a pork chop up in there. You heard me?
There was some place we went to. They made catfish bites.
Amen.
Girl, put some mustard and some hot sauce.
Amen.
My mouth is watering right now.
Amen.
But put some mustard and some hot sauce on that thing. The seafood is just amazing. We went to clearly Turkey Leg Hut. They got the remedy. I had boudin for the first time. It wasn't booty. That was I've been several times I had that, but boudin, and it's like these rice balls. It's like a dirty jambalaya. It's like a jambalaya / dirty rice, but fried into a ball, like a macaroni and cheese bite from.
Yes.
But it's rice. Girl, I've been into this thing, and I was like, why did they hiding this here in Texas? Why y'all hiding this here in Texas? So now I gotta figure out if I can make boudin for my next year's birthday, or at least try to get a recipe. So good. And then I went real basic for my birthday. I did but what's the place that they bring the meat out to you? Fogo de Chao.
Fogo. Oh, you see, I went basic. I was at the Olive Garden. Okay, damn, very basic.
No, I went basic for my birthday. Fogo, because I like to go to something that's like a steam there, but as long as I can get like a good sear on a steak. But I was too late picking, so we just did Fogo de Chao. Y'all, they got different stuff that they don't got in the DC version. Okay, they came down with some lamb chops.
Come on, lamb chops, play along where kids come to play along. Fun things. That's all we ever do.
A seafood tower. Okay, you pay $100. The table gets a seafood tower. Girl, shrimp, lobster, crab, oysters. You guys, everything was on that seafood platter. I said they don't do this type of stuff at the DC version. At least I don't remember having a seafood tower. So we partied. We got drunk. I had more than I needed in my life of edibles. And it was just a fun time. We had so much fun.
I surprisingly had an edible free weekend, but the weekend before that was not edible free.
I don't
and
like
I
edibles.
Found myself with my face on my friend's floor. So.
Let's tell us more about this story for a second.
I went to New York last weekend.
Yes.
As a pre-birthday trip with some of my friends, and these are my friends who are notorious for making shaky choices with their lives.
The best ones.
Oh, the best friends.
Yes.
So we just drank a lot in whatever restaurant we were in, and we were just running it up. Bring me a Cosmo. People are like, you want to take tequila shots? You want to take vodka shots? You know, I'm not like a shot person. Like, we're taking shots and just like cocktails. There was no like wine or champagne that day. You know, I stick with like the Prosecco and like keep it cute.
We know you very fancy.
Nothing was cute, honey. Nothing was cute.
I love it.
My girl bought the edibles. We were walking around Harlem in our socks at midnight. Why? Our feet started hurting.
Okay.
And we're going to our other friend's house. And we're like, we can walk. It's not that cold. Then our feet started hurting, so we just took off our shoes. This is a set. I am not a take my shoes off in the streets person.
That's how I know that you were done.
Oh, gone. Gone. Not proud of my choices at all. Gone.
You know what? But that's okay. Sometimes you need at least one of those times in your life where you're like, you know what? Who cares? And I definitely had that this weekend, and I'm glad that you had one of those weekends. I have vowed not to do another edible for the rest of my life. I just feel like it brings down. I feel like it brings down my, busy. You know me. I like to be like this.
Yeah. Oh, does it make you like sleepy? It like mellows you out too much.
Girl, every time I pop over and there's a shindig at your house, and I even say, you know what, this time I'll be good. I'm gonna have an edible or I'll smoke because somebody's bringing treats. Where I end up?
In the bed.
On your couch.
Oh, you know what? You do love to be on my couch. He is notorious for being on my couch, arms folded. He just got that head down, and we're just like, what happened? And it's over for you. It does take you right out.
It takes me out. And I've tried. See, because the thing is, I want to be able to. Like, let me try. I've tried different strands, different kinds, eating it, drinking it, smoking it. It's not for busy. It's just not for busy. So I think that I have decided after my birthday that this is just not for me. Well, no, I'm not saying that. This time I stayed up. So I need to ask my friend. She had a million different types of gummies and jump ropes and nerd things. And I was like, okay, this is new. So I tried that. I stayed up, but then I was a walking zombie. Does that make sense?
So I think, yes. So I will go to sleep if I don't have like an activity. So if my husband and I like do an edible at home and he's like, let's just watch a movie, I'm going to sleep. Yeah. He can stay up. But at that point, it's going to mellow me out and I don't have an activity for real. So I'm going to fall asleep. Yeah. When I took the edible and I was out and about, I didn't fall. I just was like, woo, because I was walking and I was out and there was kind of cold air on my face. I got stuff to do. If I'm too like comfy, cozy, like in my sweatpants on the couch, it's a recipe for me to go right down. I'm headed down.
Yeah, and your house is my home. Okay, so if I'm there,
you know, I feel like anybody who falls asleep at this house, I put a blanket over you and I go to bed.
Sure do.
I'll put a blanket right on you and go to bed. And I'll see you in the morning. Would you like some breakfast?
No, well, you know, I normally bring my designated driver with me.
That's true. Somebody's got to be responsible.
I mean, my partner. Sorry.
Somebody got to act like they got some sense.
I have tried sativa. I did one. They had like pre-made roll ones in Vegas, and this was for my birthday. This was for my 30th. Y'all, I almost died because me and my friend, we decided that we wanted to hike a mountain because I wanted to see the Grand Canyon, but we didn't go to the Grand Canyon. We went to some other mountain. Y'all, this white man was following us the whole time. Now that I think about it and I recant the story, we should have died because we were so high, and I was with my one white friend, and we just walking through high on that a sativa thing, walking through in the middle of the mountain. I'm gonna tell you that story one day. And it was this white man who was behind us this whole time. And now that I'm more conscious and aware, we should be dead. Me and her. We should be dead. Like we really should be dead. Yeah. And we made it through. God saw something for us. Hopefully I'm living it out, Jesus. Because
not according to your vision board.
That's true. That's true. But God did make that. I did. So
J-Dub is like must be great to work in the field. When I tell you I would never, ever, ever in life work anywhere that wanted to drug test me, no, thank you, not interested. Because mind your business.
Yeah, I don't even know. As long as I can do the job, you need to fire me if I stop showing up to work and doing the job and being effective at it. That's when you need to be in my business. Outside of that, it's a no.
Worry about myself. How I cope with my problems is how I cope with my problems.
Yeah, and let's be clear, my job is not suggesting that we do it, but they do say, make sure you have yourself a glass of wine after work. And I say, you know what? I think I will have some tequila.
I work in corporate, and if you don't think these white people do coke,
that's true.
Me smoking a little weed ain't nothing. They definitely doing hard drugs.
In corporate, for sure.
Honey, for sure.
So let's start, y'all. Let's get down to what y'all all been waiting for. Us to just recap. We haven't. So it's been 2 weeks since we talked, and there's a lot to cover. So we'll just do our overview. We'll go by couple to couple. We'll save what everybody's waiting for last. So y'all gonna have to wait here for us. So let's start with one of the couples, and then let me put this on the screen. Share.
Ooh, child. Everybody been cutting up.
To be honest,
everybody's been showing out. Everybody.
Okay. I need you to open up for me. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with Haley.
Our good friends, Haley and Jacob.
I think so far for me, and especially in these past 2 episodes, and then there was a mid-season trailer. You know what? Super chats are a great way to support the channel. I owe you a super chat. Some super chats. Super chats are a great way to support the channel because we will get flagged, but I think we can show them the mid-season trailer because I don't think it's been out publicly yet. Has it? Have you seen it publicly outside of what I sent you?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so we could do exclusive. We could do exclusive here.
Okay,
we could do some exclusives. Okay, so y'all, Haley and Jacob, to me, it's hot and cold for me. I feel like they have the wherewithal to make it. I don't know how much they're gonna put in. And these last 2 episodes, 8 and 9, I wish we would have reviewed them separately because they did a flip. In the first episode 8 overall, basically they should have entitled that episode "Your Friends Don't Got Your Back," okay? Because every person who went to their friend,
drugged them,
their friend was like,
them.
"You sound real stupid.
You sound ridiculous. You finna do this or nah?"
Right. And it was really good. So Haley, she went to her friend, which I just truly, something about her friend's spirit, y'all hear me out. Something about her friend's spirit, it just speaks to me. And she seems like she'll ground you with a cocktail in her hand. And I really love that about her. It's just amazing. Yeah, exclusives are on the way. Exclusives are all the way. And I loved it about her. So Haley sits down and talks to her friend. They've been having some disconnect. Haley and Jacob have having disconnect about attractiveness and whether or not they've been attracted to each other, and really trying to get over that hump of where they were during the couple session and talking to each other and really trying to push forward with it. So, oh wait, that was the day of the couple sessions. We didn't even talk about the couple sessions, did we? Girl, babe, somebody write these numbers down. Yo, put your B's in the comments for Lynn. Yes, show and tell, please. Oh, y'all, we got you. The exclusive is gonna be coming. Thank you so much for supporting us. You help keep our raggedy ass show afloat.
So raggedy.
We gonna split this for our birthday. Okay. So then she goes to talk to her friend and she's like, look, girl. Because yes, so this is the day of the meeting with the Pastor
Cal.
Pastor Cal. So she goes to her friend. She tries to talk to her. She's like, look, girl, let me tell you about him. And you know what? What's funny is that me and BB had one of these conversations once where I was like, girl, I don't think this is it. Like, it's not gonna work. His clothes are awful. You know, he likes the 80s. And you know, he just, you know, it's just something that's not there. Her friend was like, well, what else you got? Because you just said that he just doesn't dress
a whole bunch of insignificant stuff. So you said you need to spend 30 minutes in a Nordstrom rack.
And she drove
and bring this man a blouse.
And what I appreciated about that episode is that I valued Jacob during that time. One of the things that I'm not always the best at receiving, but one of the things that I definitely do adore and I value is men, women, whomever, is communication. I want to talk. Like, if there's anything I want to do, I want to talk. Even if I'm not going to be receptive to it at first, I can't say you didn't tell me. You haven't talked to me. You haven't tried to reason with me. We haven't had a communication about it. And I feel like Jacob in episode 8 has been so vocal of his feelings. And I value someone being vocal of their feelings or even trying to think through them. Even when he's like, you know what, I hashed out, I felt like I was wrong.
He's very introspective.
Yes.
And very like mature in his responses and can admit when he's wrong. And I really like that about him. And I don't think he's as married to the 80s as she thinks. I think he's very much willing to bend. But I think she's seeing like that as like something that would be a barrier. And it's really, I don't think it's that deep to him.
You think she's looking for an out?
Yes.
And that's the out? Like, oh my God, the 80s.
Yes. I think she's very emotionally guarded and she's scared to try. And he's not scared to try. So on this most recent episode, when he was like, are you willing to try? Right? He was like, you know, are you willing to try? We talked about, you know, the attraction and blah, 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 but are you willing to try? And then she comes back to the camera and she's like, we just had this conversation like yesterday. He hasn't given me a chance to try. And like, she's not even listening, right? Mm-hmm. He's asking you, are you willing to put in the effort, right? Like, are you going to go all in and try this with me?
Yeah.
Not, are you doing it now, right? Like, are you willing to go in? Not like, are you doing the things right now? And I think Jacob is just very much willing to really put his best foot forward in this process and try. And I'm not seeing that from Haley. This couple, I'm not loving Haley right now. I think she makes a lot of excuses. I think she's very scared. That episode 8, when she pulled that victimization nonsense, I hated it. Like, hated it. I haven't eaten because no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Not what
Yeah,
we're talking about.
right.
Not what we're talking about. First of all, put
Oh,
some bass in your
so
chest.
no. So we did talk about that. We did talk about meeting. It was they all had their part. Was it parties?
Yeah. They
So
had
we
those
did talk.
parties.
We did talk about that. We missed the episode of the part. What's basically that lingered on with Haley and Jacob. That same
Uh-huh.
tension and
Uh-huh.
everything still lingered on when they
Uh-huh.
had their parties. And the friend was like, "Girl, you need to like grow up and let me meet him, and let's see." I felt like the friend left with a good vibe too.
He's a nice guy.
I think he is too. Well, in episode 8, I fell in love with him. Like I I was like, you know what? I He's not as bad as he seems. His exterior is awkward.
Yeah, he's awkward. But I
Yeah,
think like if you lean into his like you guys have to have like your inside jokes and like what do you both think is funny?
yeah.
Yes, they do give Jamie and Doug, but she's so closed off. And I
No,
think
you gotta explain.
Jamie and Doug were season 1.
Uh-huh.
They are like the most famous married at first sight couple of all time. They got married in season 1 of the show.
Okay.
There's footage of Jamie marrying Doug, and then they get her in the hallway right after the ceremony, and she is in tears. And she's like,
Why?
I'm not attracted to him. She
Whoa.
thought Doug was ugly when she met him,
Yeah.
right? But she stuck with it, right? And I wouldn't say Doug is like grotesque, but he's not like traditionally hot, right?
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
fine.
That's fair.
But
Yeah.
a very nice man. They've been together since season 1. They just had their second baby like last year. She hosts like a lot of the like not couples can, but like the married at first, like some of the like spin-off stuff, specials and stuff.
That's awesome.
It's a really great story. But they were like the quintessential like we're gonna grow in love, right? Like you really had to open up and give this person a chance beyond what you think you need for yourself and
Yeah.
understand that like maybe there's some other things there that you don't immediately see that could be really good for you.
Yeah.
So now she has this great husband. She has a man who's like
Aww.
really dedicated to their children, a great father. She does all this like body positivity stuff and mothering stuff on Instagram. Like, I'm sure they have their problems, right? But they seem like they have learned how to communicate really
That's
well and stuff.
awesome.
But it takes a level of openness that I think back to Haley, she's not exhibiting. And that's hard to
Yeah.
watch because you're also like hurting someone's feelings in the meantime, right? I mean, it's the same, it's a less intense version of like Chris and Paige, right? Like someone really trying and somebody else who's playing and finding any
True.
excuse and any out, right? Like, and
True. True.
clearly
True.
way less intense, way less like crazy nonsense.
Yeah.
But it's still hard to watch somebody like really try,
Right.
and you just playing.
I'm
Why are you
with
playing with
that.
this man? This is a nice man.
So I'm with that. So episode 8, they ended off with, their friends meeting each other. I think they hit it off really well. I didn't like the whole, my partner doesn't like a cocktail. He just doesn't drink. That's just not his thing. He's not a
Well,
drinker.
no, he likes those Capriccio Sangria thingies.
Now he does like give him a capriccio, but even that's not all the
That's his
time.
favorite.
Oh, if he's gonna drink something, that's what he's
That
gonna
is his
have.
favorite.
If he's gonna
Okay.
drink something, he gonna have one of
I
those.
love him with those. He's so cute.
Cause
He
you know
comes
what?
over, y'all. He comes over to our house with his little 4-pack. It's the cutest thing ever.
I
He
love
only
him with
ever
him
drinks
too.
one. He only drinks one.
Oh,
He
and if I
brings a
can
little
get him to
4-pack.
do two,
Oh, y'all about to have a wild night.
we sure
It's about to
will.
be a wild night.
So I didn't like when Haley's like, look, I'm drinking, you not gonna have one too? And it's like, if he's not a drinker like that, don't make him feel like he needs to drink.
I didn't see it that way.
What did you feel? What did you see it like?
I think for some people, having a little drink loosens you up. And I think she was trying to like loosen up and talk and like get to know him. And she was trying to invite him into something that she enjoys and hoping that they could have like a full relaxing experience together. With
Yeah.
liquor, it can come off as pushy,
Yes.
right? Like, oh,
Be
you don't want to
careful.
drink, right? You have to be careful,
Yeah.
right? So you're not like bullying people into drinking. But I don't
I
think that
learned
was
that
her
the hard
intention.
way.
You have a problem. But I don't think that was her intention though.
Yeah.
I think she was trying to invite him in and like trying to get to know somebody. There are cameras there. Like it could just be good to like have a cocktail. Maybe that'll get us to being able to talk and, you know, crack some jokes or whatever. And I think she just was trying to like find a way in
I
that
can
moment.
see that. I know that he doesn't want to drink like that. He's not a drinker. It seems as if now he always got a beer in his hand.
Well, now he got to deal with her. So nerves probably shot. Okay, he's had enough.
I just feel like now he always got one. So then moving into episode 9, Jacob, you lost me. Jacob, you lost me. Episode 9, you guys were still in this first couple. Jacob, you lost me because at first I was like, you know what? He is retrospective. You know, he gets a chance to really reflect. He thinks through. Then it started to be, y'all remember that Melanie Fiona song, 4 a.m.? And in the video, she goes through her whole head of everything that she just noticed man is doing, but the actual life didn't reflect that. I feel like that's what Jacob is doing now. Now it's starting to become this whole, you know, I thought it was sweet. She came in, she's trying her best. She's, you know, her friend said, look, girl, go to Nordstrom's real quick, okay? She got the clothes, tried them on. I was like, this is so cute. Yes, they're moving forward. Then I realized this is his personality. I feel like he has this fear of being left, so he gonna push you out first, and he gonna say, "This is what you're doing," because I've been like that before. This what's going on. This is why you. Yeah, I still think we need to talk about how you don't like me or think I'm sexually attractive and this and that. It's just like, but I'm trying. Like, why we got to go back to the whole? We said we're gonna talk about that.
I think he felt unresolved, and that's why he was pushing it. And
I don't think there is a resolve.
I'm like that, but I feel like he wants like some type of resolution. Like, what are the next steps? I think he's like very like literal and like by the book. So I think he needs an answer. Yeah. Right. Like I don't feel attracted to you yet, but I am doing X, Y, and Z to work on it. Here are some things that you are doing that I like. Right. I think he needs more information. So I think for real, what we're seeing out of Jacob is that Haley doesn't communicate with him very well. He needs more information, and she's not giving it to him. And it is not uncommon to be with someone. If they don't tell you enough stuff, there are holes, and you start filling in the holes. Yeah. You fill in the holes with whatever you can come up with, right? And a lot of it is based on prior relationships, which he has brought up, right? Like in the past, XYZ happened to me, whatever, and that's why I thought you might be messing around with somebody else. But we do this. People do this. It's not. I mean, it's crazy, but it's not. Guilty. It's not like super outlandish. And I think like she needs to say more to him. This is funny because me and my husband do this all the time. He's kind of a man of few words, and sometimes I'm like, you have to tell me more because I have decided something else, right? Because you're not saying. I need you to tell me some more words right now. I need some more words, and she's not giving him enough information. So he does not know what to do with that, and he's making stuff up.
Am I being but it's not uncommon because I would definitely be on Jacob's side because that's what Busy does. Like that's my thing.
This is why I don't know why you don't like him.
My boyfriend is a man of no words. Okay, not even a few, zero to say, and I fill in all the gaps by myself. I write the whole story. Okay, and so I am like.
I'm like, you hate me. You think I'm fat. You've been researching divorce, haven't you? I know it.
That's what I would do. So I think that I don't know if I'm being reprogrammed, but I immediately, or maybe it's me attacking or rejecting that negative part of me. But I was like, oh, that's not cute. The girl just came in here with all these clothes. Y'all done a fashion show, and you like, okay, yeah, that's cute and whatever. What you think about the whole sexually attracted to me thing?
And it's also okay. So you know when you've been thinking about something, I'm not ready to let that go. I see the little blouse you brought him for me, and thank you. That's nice. But see, all day I've been stewing over the thing you said yesterday. So this blouse, like I said, this blouse is nice.
Very nice.
Thank you for bringing me home a slice of cake from the restaurant that I like. Yeah. However, remember that thing you said yesterday? I would like to revisit that because I'm not over that.
You know, I think he does need some. I'm with you, especially because I am that. And you know what? Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Is there anything else we have about Haley and Jacob, or can we move on to this middle couple here?
I'm Team Jacob. We can move on.
I'm team
I like
Jacob right now
Jacob.
too.
I like Jacob. I
You
need
have
Haley to get it
convinced me.
together.
You
I
have
need Haley
definitely
to get
convinced
it
me.
together.
Moving
He's got
on
to stop
to
letting his crazy out, though. He's got to put that crazy in the closet.
this dial it back just a little bit. Moving on to
just a scotch.
the next couple, Clara and Ryan.
Your fave.
Love Clara and Ryan. I surely do love Clara and Ryan. It's just something. First, I think Ryan is just so attractive. First of all, his booty is out of this world, but there's something about when he looks at you that I love. And I think it's the emotionally damaged part of me that likes the fact that he is unwilling to truly look at love and himself and his emotions. I don't know. I think it's the damaged part of me who's like, ooh, I want someone like that. Ooh, you don't have no feelings. Talk to me.
I reject that toxicity.
Trey said, how do you guys think he will react if she tells him that sex was whack? Oh, going back to Jacob and Haley, I'll let you answer.
What do you mean? Oh.
Going back to Haley and Jacob, how do you think she'll act?
I think it depends on how she says it.
Oh, sorry, he'll act.
I think it depends on how she says it.
Yeah.
I think it is unkind to
say
to the person you care about
until you got inside of me. Can she say that?
No. I think it's unkind to say something like that to someone you care about.
Yeah.
That does not mean you should not advocate for more pleasurable sexual experiences. I think she just needs to be more specific. Okay. So, like, here are some things I really enjoyed. You sandwich it. Here are some glows and here are some grows.
Okay.
I really liked the head, but the stroke was a little shaky. So the next time I'm going to ask you for a full extension.
Okay.
Or let's try some other positions. Do you have any toys under your bed?
Right.
Have you tried body oils, massage oils? I have a little something in my purse, right? I also think if you care about the sandwich,
person, there was no.
Well, I was trying to go positive, negative, positive, right? But you could go like, I think it's probably a better approach to suggest things that could like suggest specific fixes.
Yeah.
Right. So if you want to spice it up, then like do some of the work, right? Like if you're not trying to demoralize this person, then like do some of the work. And also be patient, because expecting someone to know what you enjoy the first time you guys have sex is unrealistic, right?
That's
like
true.
It happens, but that's rare, right? And that doesn't mean that you guys will always have bad sex.
That's true.
It's a deeply personal thing. You have to communicate.
Flip the people over immediately, so you know this is the way I want you. Okay, that's my thing. So
I mean, it's a little more complicated for women.
You don't think you don't think a man wants if you was like, look, I just want you to lay down and I'm about to ride up on that thing. But
that doesn't mean that he's gonna enjoy that.
That's true.
Right. And it's about both of us enjoying it. See, this is why selfish. Okay. So what I'm saying is, like, for me, I like all of my senses need to be stimulated, right? Like, I don't want to hear ESPN in the background if we're having, like, I don't want that.
Oh my God.
I don't want, like,
say the bass just like that. First of all, it could be a baby crying. I want whatever you could put on a dissertation, okay? Because I'm focused on what I'm focused on.
No, I don't like these distractions. It's interrupting my experience. I like the smells. I like the sound. I like the like sensation of being touched. I need all of that. So like I buy my husband like fancy soaps and like nice colognes. Like I love like him coming in with these like really nice manly smells and stuff. Like I want to bury my face in your beard, and like I need the stimulation. I need all of the stimulations.
I don't know. You know what? I don't need all this. You are the stimulation. We are the stimulation. We're the friction here. I I don't need any of that. You could put, I could put on any YouTube channel, and I'll be like, look,
no. Okay,
we're practicing for the time with the kids.
I have to self lubricate, right? You have
That's
a different
true.
experience in which you can.
We just use lube.
You just use lube, right? His goal is for me to naturally lubricate myself.
That's true. Yes.
Which means I need to be stimulated.
That's true.
It ain't just squirt and stick. Ain't none of that. Ain't none of that. You want the girl to open up to welcome you.
Yes, and I just use wet. And make sure that it is silicone based. So, we're gonna go to.
Oh, we have gone too far in these comments.
Yes, so
and as Nikki said, she needs to ask him what he likes too. It's about both people, right?
She like it communicate. About him a lot.
It seems like what?
It's about him a lot, but I feel like I feel like he is gonna do whatever she wants to do. I feel like he'll. That's what I think
too. I think that too. That's why I'm saying I think that she's missing an opportunity, like
to
she can run him.
Okay.
Yeah, she can run him. She can run him.
You better take this opportunity, girl.
He wants you to be happy. He wants you to like him so much.
Let's get to the next couple. The next couple is Ryan and Clara. You want to take the lead on this?
No, you got.
I feel like I took a lot of the lead on her. So Ryan and Clara. So for the last episode, they were meeting each other's friends. I think what's interesting is that we did get more of an insight, they broke the wall in this one, which was that Clara's friends got sick, so they couldn't quarantine enough in order for them to be at the party. So she needed Lonely Paige and the other girls to like kind of help with. I thought this episode was cute where Ryan and what's Virginia's husband's name?
Eric.
Ryan and Eric met up and they talked for a little bit. Ryan just
what is walking them dogs?
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Yeah, sure, for sure. No, yeah, for sure. That's all Ryan says back.
Yeah.
And I learned that listening to him. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sure. No, for sure.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
For
sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Because I need conversational cues, but I don't need you to just be pushing me along the conversation. No, yeah, sure. Yeah, no. Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, no, sure. Yeah, for sure. Oh, no, sure. Yeah, sure. For sure. Yeah. Oh, sure. Y'all go back and watch that episode. It was just them and 3 dogs saying, sure, for sure.
Sure.
Yeah,
for sure. No, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
And what is getting very interesting and frustrating to me, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm Team Clara. One of my all-time favorite movies is Legally Blonde. Okay, all-time favorite movies is Legally Blonde.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Don't you ever forget it. And when she got her court case, and she said, "I'm certain she did not kill her husbands because she works out, and working out produces
it gives you endorphins,
and endorphins
make you happy, and happy people don't kill their husbands.
Okay,
they just don't.
The fact that this man lives in the gym, okay, get all those endorphins, okay, and being, because I don't see the happiness there. But what I do know is from working out, there's some sexual frustrations and some sexual act. You get, your body says, release, okay? And you got to find a way to get this stuff out of you because you got so much built up in you. You don't want to touch her just a little bit. Now, we do learn a little bit more in episode 9, but y'all not doing nothing. And Clara has to look at you. Her husband, who goes to the gym regularly.
First of all, you would have been had to get that thing up. Because it ain't nothing. Ain't nobody finna be doing all of that with you.
Who are you trying to look good? Not that you can't look good for yourself. Let me retract. I don't want to get too ahead of myself.
I don't care nothing about that, though.
But you're walking around looking like The Rock, and now you're like...
You do not look like no Rock. Now, you just went too far.
Going to bed. I took it too far.
So far.
But your body and your physique so great, and you're not even like, yo,
it's true to what I mean.
Back that thing up against me a little bit while we cuddling. Because I let Tay debate, no, don't act like we just about to cuddle. Back that thing up as we cuddle. Okay, can you put that right there for me? You don't even want to say. You don't even want
I
to
do
try to
like
do
some
like that.
aggressive spooning.
Yes. You don't want to just Ryan. What's happening? And it's frustrating. It's upsetting me and my homegirls.
It's absolutely upsetting me and my homegirls. Okay, because if I can't go to bed with my husband, then where can I go? Okay, where can I go?
They actually have become the boring couple, which I'm shocked at because we see less and less of them. Their party was okay. You had his friends there, her friends there. Nothing really popped off. She'd been talking about her sexual frustration. That was them in episode 8. Now we get to episode 9. The girl's still sexually frustrated. So much so that she says, I've been sitting here doing this every night. Did you see that?
I didn't see the hand gesture.
Yes. Clara said, y'all put it in the comments if y'all see it.
Wait, Claire I gotta go back to that part. Hold on.
Claire was like, I've been sitting here and I'm doing this every night to you, but nothing. You're not trying to give me nothing. Nothing. Y'all put it in the comments. Did y'all see her doing this? Oh, did you find it?
No, I'm looking at these comments.
Is he asexual?
Alexa, play Ain't No Way. Because, honey, no. They might, but you're going to have to get the drive up in here or get off them roids.
I thought she was sobbing his. That's what I initially thought she was doing.
I definitely thought she was slobbing on that knob like
no. She said, "Is it in that preview I sent you?" I don't think it's.
I think it's in that preview. I think it's in the preview.
Is it?
I think it's in that mid section. I think it's in that mid-season episode. The preview that you sent.
Let's skip through. Is there anything you want to say about them during episode 9?
Episode 9. I think that the donut conversation was the highlight for me. I thought that Clara was actually really rude at the donut shop, and I didn't like her response to Ryan. I think she's asking him to be more like communicative and talk about his feelings and what he cares about, or what he values. And I think that was his way. Like when he was talking to her, I think he was trying to tell her about, like he was trying to communicate what he cares about. And she took it as like, what'd she say? Like, come for the donuts and you get a free motivational talk or something, whatever.
Yeah, I felt like that was y'all. I'm showing y'all all my business. I felt like that. I felt the same way. Were we watching this together?
We were talking about it the other day. Girl, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. And I think that's a blind spot because I think what he was also getting at was the struggle of being a Black person in America and feeling like everything that like you do matters a whole bunch more because so many people have sacrificed for you to get where you are. And it's not just a story of Black people, but he's Black. So I'm like, I'm talking about our cultural background. But for a lot of people, immigrants and other people of color, right, there's a pressure to like not fail or disrespect the efforts of your ancestors, right? People have sacrificed so much for you to be able to go to college and own your home and have your own car and like whatever it is, and to live in certain neighborhoods and work in certain corporations. So everything has more weight to it when you're from these communities because like everyone is counting on you to succeed and advance your race. White people don't tend to have the same like pressure.
True.
Right? Like if whatever they want to do is like, it's not a social pressure racially to have to do something particular. And I think that's a blind spot for Clara in dating a Black man, and she's going to have to develop an awareness of that. But I think he is going to have to be more communicative about like all the things that I just said. I think he's like keeping it at one level and he needs to like break it down a level further though, so that she understands what he's actually getting at. But I think she's also, this is J-Dub, to your point, I think she's also gotten to the point where she's tired of his nonsense because she's trying to get that back blown out. So nothing you say matters to me at this point because I need you to come through with that Z.
Because everyone
You're
has
playing
gotten
with me.
some.
Yeah.
Everyone has got, even the people who not married.
Even the people who don't like each other have got some.
Everybody has got some. All right, y'all. So I want to say it again. I want to make sure that I preface it with this. Super chats are our best way to support the channel because we will get copyrighted for it, but we're gonna do this in love for y'all, okay? So I told you about this, BB. When you play like content like this, YouTube says, "Excuse me, this somebody else owns this," and then they say you can't make no money.
Haters.
So y'all ready? Y'all ready?
Yep.
Let me move this out the way. Actually, I'm gonna take us off the screen and make this big screen. All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
We don't have any sound.
Oh, y'all not getting them? Oh.
There's no sound.
Hold on.
And actually, I'm sorry. I need you to take me off. I have not fed my dog and he is like whining. I will be back in 20 seconds.
I got you.
Okay.
All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Boom, boom, boom. All right. Let me hide this.
Again, someone like Vincent was what I needed.
Paige, that's your dumbass fault. So y'all, she's getting him up. She did like this every night, and he is not returning the favor. I'm going to take that off. You talking, BB?
Oh, I didn't realize I muted myself.
Okay. So y'all, getting back to what we were talking about, before we left, let me just shut this window again. No hope for these two. They become the boring couple, and she just got a lot of nut on her hands. Yeah, she got a lot of nut on her hands, and there's no hope past the ejaculation or dripping down this part of her hands. She not getting nothing else from him, and you cannot keep a marriage that way. It's not the most important part, but it definitely is one of them. And Clara is telling the cameras, okay? She is even done playing around like she's looking at us and saying, I need some D, okay? Clara is looking at us now at this point, and it's like, I need some D, okay? She not even
because she ready. Any old do.
This is sad. It's becoming this for her, and I don't wish that for her because I love Clara. I see a lot of myself in her. I don't want to say I fall in love easy, but I love people easily. I am an individual who loves someone until you give me a reason not to love you. And there are people who don't love you until you give them a reason, or love or trust you until you give them a reason too. I want to be friends with everybody until I'm like, I don't want to be friends with that one.
Though. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, and that's how it. And if it works in the reverse, I'm gonna know you for the rest of my life. That's how guys always had it. Because I didn't like BB.
Hated that.
So after that, let's get to one of the other boring couples to me. We got Vincent and Briana. Episode Vincent is emotionally manipulative and a child. And I'm sorry, Brie, that they had you marry a baby, because I think that at this point, everything that he talks about is something that he has bigged up, created largely in his head, but then he displaces it immediately. Where Jacob had some time to make these stories up, there's no time in between. If he spills a cup and Bree's like, oh, third time, he's like, oh, so you kind of try to call me dumb? This is what you always do. Now I'm a dummy? Oh, see, the disrespect in this house is getting out of control. And it's just like, Vincent, all I said was third time. Oh, yeah, but why you say it like that? Because you should have gotten me a towel. You should have at least wiped it up. No, and then the way you laughed, you did 3 giggles. 3 giggles normally mean that you need, that is something's funny and you being disrespectful, and your disrespect, which I think he needs to find another word,
I think
Because
I think his vocabulary is too limited
is that what
to.
you think it is?
I think he struggles with vocabulary because disrespect is not the right word. But I
Yes.
think he feels he views support differently
Yeah.
than Brianna. And I think their real issue is that they're new to one another. So I think his real issue, honestly, is that he assumes that Brianna meant something by whatever she said, right? So he has taken the thing that was said and written a story behind it.
So
He's
quick.
created this story of intention behind it. That's a get a therapist. I also work with my therapist on the stories that I create
Yeah.
based on what somebody has said to me, and lots of us do it. It is not a wild thing.
But he
Most
takes
people do
zero
it.
time.
He does not. He does not take any time. He absolutely like creates a story behind it of like what the intention was. And that's the part that's bad because y'all don't know each other. Right.
Yeah.
So like she has not even had enough time to know what hurts your feelings. You
Yes.
are assuming that she said it to hurt your feelings with the understanding that it hurts your feeling. Like you are assuming that she knows all these bits of information that are not in place yet. And so I think that's where he's messing up. I wouldn't I have not thought, oh, he's a man baby. I think that he struggles with his emotional expressions though. Like I
Okay.
think what he feels is fair. Like I don't like it is triggering for you to make fun of me is one thing, but to call
Yes.
somebody disrespectful, it
That's
assumes a
different.
level of intent that
Mm-hmm.
like she was trying to hurt your feelings, she was trying to come for you, like, and that's not the case. And so
Yeah.
you're like you say, he bigs it up when it doesn't need to be all of that. You can just communicate. You said this thing, it made me feel uncomfortable. I can assume that you didn't mean anything negative by it, but it did, like it didn't feel good to hear.
Right.
That's a
And I
different
would
and more
rather
mature
that
conversation.
Vincent don't do it immediately, and it's like a light switch goes off.
Uh-huh.
And after watching him these past 2 episodes, it's like there's no time in between. Like as soon as it happens, Vincent goes to that place.
He's very rash.
He'll be like,
Very
"Oh,
rash.
really? Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to do nothing else. That's it. We can wrap the cameras up. I'm about to
Yeah,
leave."
and he like shuts down. Yeah. And
And
that's hard to
Brianna's like,
communicate. And
"What do
she's
you?
like,
What do you say?
what? What happened?
Talk
Like,
to
what
me."
just happened?
Thank God
A lot of
she's
people
someone who wants
really
to talk.
struggle with like talking about their feelings and what they're experiencing. We're
Yeah.
watching it, like lots of people struggle with this, and it comes out in all these different ways, but this man does not know how to like maturely communicate when something has upset him or when something has made him feel away, right?
Yeah.
And no, it less of the problem, because I'm sure she doesn't care, like, oh, you made this joke and I didn't really like it. Like, she's not going to be like, well, F you, I'm going to continue to make the joke even though it hurts your feelings, right? But you
Yeah.
can't even like appropriately communicate that you said something that didn't feel good to you.
You don't know what's gonna be.
You don't like, but he doesn't know how to communicate. He
Child,
doesn't know how to talk to her.
I told
And
y'all
he's not
about him.
giving there he's not even giving the situation the grace to understand that like we have to learn how to talk to each other. People skip over
True.
that, like the assumption that like we just met, like when he was like, well, I don't like how she don't know how to talk to me. And like people love to say that, like black people love to go, you don't know how to talk
You
to
don't know how to
nobody.
talk to
No, I don't know how to talk to you because I don't know you.
Right.
How would I know about your communication preferences? Those are deeply personal. How would I just assume what your communication preferences are?
If you don't
That's
think I'm about
wild.
to put that on the internet, you crazy. That's a clip right there. That's a clip right there.
Like, what
But
are you
you're right.
talking about?
You're absolutely right. And I think that he skipped all those steps of communication. School to see 101, but I think that
Walk right past it.
he skipped right all of those other steps of communication, and he goes straight to familiarity. Yo, I'm sorry, I had a shot. Familiarity, where it's just like we love each other, so you know me, and we skip the other like 4 steps of
Yeah,
like,
we're
hey,
getting to
how are
know each
you?
other.
Yes, yeah, all of those steps he skipped. He's like, well, since we in love, you should know how to talk to me.
Or the logical assumption because I know that you care about me, right? I care about you and you care about me. I can assume that you are not deliberately trying to hurt me. So then I can talk to you in a different way because I do not assume that
That's
what you
mature.
are saying to me, that you are trying to hurt me. It's another thing to communicate that what you're saying does hurt, but I don't have to add the other layer of believing that you're trying to do it. That makes it nasty. And that part's not true.
That's mature. That's
And it
mature.
bigs it up unnecessarily.
I
He is
like
swirling up a lot of the drama.
no, for sure, for sure. And they have become a couple where I'm like, do I want this for Brie? Like, I want her to be in love and I want her to be happy. And it's very clear that they love each other. I want to just, I want to watch them and see them be in love. And that's unfair to me because relationships, you have to go through the pain in order to get to, the other parts of it and understand each other. I just want them to be in the happy love. And I guess this blissful
I think they just need a little counseling.
love that I saw,
That
I feel
couples
like,
counseling will get you right
but
together.
Brie, I feel like Brie is gonna be on more of the receiving side. And when someone is always told that they are bossy and they already have this negative kind of, because no one feels like someone calling them bossy is a good connotation. And even her's like, I've always heard bossy, but now I'm starting to feel like I'm all these other things too. I feel like she's always gonna be on the negative or receiving end of his insecurities or his lack of communication. And I
Yes, but
don't like that
that's
for
why I
her.
suggested counseling, because then you have an impartial party that is like, here's what I believe that you can do. Here's what I believe that you can do based on what I'm hearing from both of you. It's
Yeah.
never one person. It's never just one person, right? So for Briana, it could be Vincent might need you to be a softer place to land. He might need you it might be too early to like you like to crack jokes with people. Maybe that's like a thing that you do in your family that you feel very comfortable with, but he's not there yet. Y'all don't
Yeah.
have the rapport for him to trust that like your jokes are coming from a loving place all the time. Give
Yeah.
that some time, pull back on that. But Vincent, at the same time, you need to check yourself on how sensitive you're being to anything that she says. Do you believe that she is a person who would try to hurt you? Then why are you
Mm-hmm.
responding in a way that assumes that she's trying to hurt you, right? So there's like things that they both can be doing to get to the place where they're communicating better.
Yeah.
But I think, like you said, Briana could be on the receiving end because Vincent is more of the like complainer, and I don't want to say complain in a bad way.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
vocalizes things that he doesn't like, and I think that's healthy. But I think getting a counselor gives you an impartial party who stands in the middle and is like, here's what you can do, and here's what I'm seeing happen that y'all can't see from where y'all standing. Here's what I see happening like holistically and what y'all can do. I would agree, Nadine. I think that Vincent can use some counseling on his own, some therapy. I believe that everyone should go to therapy. Everyone. We all got a lot of stuff happening in our brains. And to think that you over everything that happened to you in your childhood and high school and the
Crazy.
time that person abandoned
Crazy.
you, the time that boy said you was ugly because you was dark skinned, you not over it. You not
Yes.
over it. You still out here
I
not loving
just
yourself
started
enough.
the
Like,
process again. Did I tell you that? It was right before a year, 5 o'clock today. I just started the process
ah,
again. Yeah. So
I have therapy every Friday at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I do not miss my appointments. Okay. We
I'm
get right on that song.
choosing
I love it.
happiness in my
Choosing
in this
joy
year
and
of
choosing
33.
wellness.
I am.
Choosing wellness,
Yeah.
right? Like, I don't want to be an anxious person
No
who
more.
needs to fight and create drama and like needs to be worried about stuff. I get on and I like talk to my therapist on an interface like this where we're kind of FaceTiming through the computer. But like, everybody's goals are going to be different. Like,
Mhm.
personally, my goal is just to be a more balanced person because
Yeah.
I struggle with anxiety
Me
and
too.
things overwhelm me a lot, but I take on too much and then complain that I'm overwhelmed and feel very sad that I'm overwhelmed. Then I feel disappointed and I judge myself because I can't get it all done.
I'm
But
the
I
same on
took
that.
on too much and it's a cycle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my therapist works with me on like, What are you doing this week? Is there anything overwhelming you? What do you feel stressed about? What can you hand off to your husband? What can you ask a friend to do? What can you ask your mom to do? What can you strike off the list that just doesn't need to get done, like you thought it needed to get done, but it's not
And not
mandatory?
feel like you're
And not
lesser
feel like you're
than.
a failure and lesser than,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
some stuff is like, actually, I don't need to do that. I like to go to the grocery store. For some reason, it feels like I'm supposed to get up on the weekends and go to the grocery store. But you
Yes.
know what? Sometimes I don't feel like that. Sometimes it's either go to the grocery store or get my workout in. And if I need to get my workout in, I Instacart the groceries now. I do the Instacart and somebody will drop those groceries off and that $8 is worth it. Fine. Bring the groceries. I just
That's
cut
me
out an
with
hour of
cooking.
my Saturday morning, right? I don't have to do that. I don't
Yeah.
have to do that. I do not have to make gourmet meals. I can throw some shit on that Instapot, in that crock pot. I broil that salmon side, throw a
Yeah.
couple. And my husband don't care neither way. Like, I don't need to make no 7-layer casserole every week. It's
Yeah.
not happening. If I'm working 60 hours a week, trying to work out, got all of this stuff going on, I don't have to do all of that. But most of the problem was me putting that pressure on
On
myself,
myself, yeah.
right? But everybody's issues are different. So I will say, I never mean anything negative when I say somebody needs counseling or therapy. I go myself.
Mm-hmm.
My husband and I did premarital counseling. We believe in relationship counseling. I believe in therapy for myself and for everybody. I think everyone needs to embrace it. It's a safe space
Agreed.
to talk about what you're feeling and experiencing, and it is very, very helpful to feeling well. Anyways,
Agreed. Agreed. Agreed.
so I
Amen.
think Briana and Vincent in in the end, I think that they're very cute and I think that they have some great things going on, but I do think that I suggest counseling for them, but what I really mean is they need some strategies for like when this happens, what do we do? Like they need like rules of engagement for now because
Yes.
they
I
don't
say
know
it
what
all
they're
the time.
doing.
Yeah.
They need some rules.
Yeah.
And Pastor Cal and like they used to do more on like hands-on counseling like that in earlier seasons. I'm not seeing it very much this season,
Maybe it's
but
because
they
of
used
the
to be like on,
pandemic.
yeah, but they used to give like really great tips. If you go back and watch old seasons, I was learning
Yeah.
so much out of these conversations. They need that.
You know what? Maybe me and Taylor Bay will find the old season and watch it together just so that we'll
Oh,
get
I
those.
have recommendations.
You know what? I think maybe we busy. So let's get to who is this?
Child, that Virginia and that Eric.
Eric and Virginia. Okay, so do you remember what happened in episode 8? Because he's trying to make a sushi order for dinner, so I'm about to try to give an order. Can you talk about
What
episode
did
8?
he do in episode 8?
He
Eric
tried to
and
talk to his
Virginia?
friend. Virginia went out to the wedding that lasted for 5 days.
Oh, she did.
Uh,
She was in that wedding party.
that's what she say.
Okay, so in episode 8, and I do not remember all the details, so sorry, y'all. He usually does the rundown. Virginia had to go out of town for the wedding. And she was gone for a couple of days because she was a member of the bridal party. I believe her. There's a lot of activities leading up to the wedding. You want to be there a couple of days early if you're a bridesmaid. Eric was being himself and wanted to talk to her all the time, like was checking up on her. I think in that same episode they had the parties and Eric met Virginia's like best guy friend when he came over to the house. That went really good. I think Eric is interesting because yes, Eric does have very dictative ways. I think Eric is a know-it-all and he does not, he's unable to see things from other point of views, in my opinion. He thinks he knows what he knows and there's nothing else to know about it. That's how he reads to me. I do not like this couple at all. And to be honest, I do not like them very much individually, and I definitely don't like them as a couple. I think Eric is really, really overbearing. They're really struggling to like communicate and compromise. Um, he's just too much. He's too much for me. He stresses me out. I think though, I don't some of the stuff that he's asking for, I don't think is like wild. It's
Agreed.
more though like communication preferences.
How he says it.
I never like how he says anything because he thinks he's smarter than her because he's older and he thinks he knows everything. And I just hate that about him.
Yeah.
But I think some of the stuff, like what he doesn't get is that all of his overbearing like comments and stuff, like it just piles on for her and makes her feel more and more smothered.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't back up, like there's no room for her to communicate because she feels like he's trying to like rip everything from her.
He walks into every room like, I'm the daddy in the situation. I'm the daddy.
Right.
I'm the daddy.
Right. When you look like a squirrel, you have a child's body. Don't try to come in here like, don't try to stroll. No, like if you're going to walk up on me, be bigger than me. And also be done your push-ups. Don't walk up on me bird chested. Don't.
He does walk into every situation. And he would
because I'm not going to respond well.
Every situation is, yo, she always want to come in here like we're eating lunch. This is a marriage. No, you act like you about to go to sleep. This is a marriage.
This is a marriage.
Everything you can do, nothing without him saying.
Everything you can't. I hate that he takes his interpretation of what marriage should be, and he makes it the only interpretation of what marriage could be. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that I really can't do about him because he's just so close-minded. Yeah. So then he then is constantly telling her that she's not marriage-minded, that she's single-minded because she views marriage differently than him. And this is where you run into trouble with something like this because this is a thing that you would have very much ruled out in the dating phase. Yep. Right? Like Virginia and Eric would have never gotten married on any plane, on any celestial, like never, right? Yeah. Because Virginia, I think, is ready to be married, but she needs to marry a fun guy who wants to go out with her. And I know couples like that. One of my best friends from Chicago, her and her husband, I mean, they were in Wrigleyville living it until they had kids. They were living it up, living in a cute high rise. They was at all the bars. They was at the concerts. Babe, get me a beer, taking shots together, like having a ball, right? These couples exist, but I think she would have picked someone very different for herself had she had the choice. I think this was also a flaw on the part of the experts. Because I think originally we thought, okay, they could compromise, but I think it's more than she likes to go out. He's kind of a homebody. Yeah. He's a dictator. He's overbearing. He's insecure. He's a know-it-all. That's different because he's closed-minded. So he can't compromise because he thinks he's right all the time. So where is there room to compromise if I'm right?
How did you feel about? I'm trying to feel like if I'm big, if I have a fragile male ego. So how did you feel about? I'm learning and growing too, y'all. Yeah, I'm not above reproach. I feel like I want to walk the mindless tonight. Sorry, that's like not here or there. But when he's been having a hard time accepting the fact that you're always out with your friends, like this is a new thing, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna bring my friends over so that you'll see ain't no harm, like everything's cool. Then the friend takes him outside and is like, let me tell you what you need. If we was Kiki and we grow up, it's like, and I don't know if it's because I am, bisexual or of the community where I feel like what you do, me and your girlfriends, we good Judies. Like I'm not messing with your boo. So I can say to you, like, just be, temperamental with her and don't da. I don't know about the male. The male having a conversation and he like, that's my girl right there. You know what I'm saying? We've been friends for a long time. She's strong-minded, and you may not come off as a dictator and don't try to tell her what to do. And I felt like that's how Virginia's friend was coming off when he took Eric out on the balcony. He was like, what you better make sure that you don't tell her what to do.
I don't think he came off that way. I think he was actually offering some words of wisdom, which was,
that's what I know my ego was.
Yeah, I think it really was like, I've talked to her about what's going on, and I'm trying to tell you, like, man to man, here's where you're going to run into trouble.
Okay.
You, like, being a dictator and trying to tell her what she can and cannot do, it's just not going to work. Or you're going to push her away. And I think that's a fair thing to say because he needs to stop doing that.
Yeah.
he feels some sense of like ownership. You do not own your wife. You don't own her time. Like whatever she chooses to do is what she chooses to do. He should. This is where again we get into trouble with the concept of the show.
Go
Because
ahead, tell us.
Eric would have picked some lady who probably doesn't want to work, who wants to like stay at home and like dote on him and like and I'm not saying that's bad because y'all, my dream in life is to be a stay-at-home mom.
Yes.
My dream is to be
BB
a stay-at-home
BB knows it's my
mom.
dream.
My dream. Let me tell you, so I've never been better cut out for anything. I make a mean cookie. Okay. Decorate a mean room, do a mean craft.
Yes.
Okay, I could teach any child how to read. You hear me? Your girl is certified. Okay. We're at home. They don't even need to go to that schoolhouse.
Yeah.
We doing the experiments in the kitchen.
It's
okay.
We got a community.
We got a garden in the backyard. We learning about all the stuff, all the concepts. Okay. I'm not saying that's bad at all, but I think he would have picked someone with a much different temperament and different priorities, who was different, living a different kind of life. Yeah. And now that they have to merge, I think, again, I always said I thought that the merge was possible, but I think it takes more open-mindedness than Eric is showing. I don't see Virginia as that stubborn. I think she's like, but I still want to have a good time, right? Like, she's not like, you can't young. Come get, she's not that young.
She's 26.
That's not that young.
Girl, at 26, I would. That's not true, because there was a couple of men, see, and I'm not with them. So, I don't know.
I think 26 is a prime time to like go out and like you can have a partner, but like y'all can do fun stuff together. And I think Eric is not trying to, I think the compromise is let's do some fun stuff together. And Eric is a stick in the mud and believes that like he's got to stay at home and make stir fry. And if you don't stay at home and make stir fry, then you're not a grown up.
That's true.
Sometimes grown ups take shots.
Don't tell Eric. Don't tell Eric. I saw that the episode 8, episode 9. Do you feel like, because I feel like Virginia, this girl right here she always looked like a one night stand. I felt like in my heart of heart, I am completely shocked that she's feeling like he's gone too much. Were you feeling the same way? Or I felt like this is about to be perfect for Virginia. She already want to go out, hang out with the friends. Now your husband gone for 5 days. And she was like, I just felt like I wanted more communication while he was gone. I felt to hear the words that she was saying, where she was like, yeah, he didn't communicate with me as much as I thought he was going to communicate with me. And it wasn't kind of this. When he was gone the whole time, she didn't like it. Were you not shocked?
I thought she didn't like how he came back. That's what I got, because she did all of this stuff from when he got back. She had cleaned the house and organized this and made this or whatever. And he got back and he did not acknowledge any of it. That's the part that I heard her being annoyed with. BB
sound like she at Virginia and Eric's house right now.
Child, this Oliver is cutting up in the... So we have so many dogs in our neighborhood, and I always you remember in 101 Dalmatians when all of them dogs was barking all down the road trying to communicate where them dogs was hiding, and he talks to all his little friends back here. The dog our next door neighbors just got this little dog, Lily. He be whining to go outside and play with his friend Lily. He want to go down the street and play with Nola, across the street and play with Randallin. They like to get together.
She definitely has Virginia's dog, because I will say, and we never talked about this because it's not important, but dogs do take the persona of their owners, and I just want to be free. And my dog Luke, y'all know him. He just ready to go out.
Jumped out that window.
He wants to be free from this house. He wants to be outside. He want to live life. He want to see the world. He's just like me. And Ollie, he want to know where everybody doing.
My little Ollie balls. What's going on?
What's going on over here? What's going on? I just want to be in the know. I don't need to know be in your business. Just give me the tea, and I'm gonna go about my business, okay? Because now he quiet. You know, got what he needed.
Yeah, he just wanted to see what was going on. He needed a little update. Hey, Bubba. Hey, buddy.
I only just need a little update. They take the persona of their owners because
what are your friends doing?
Eric and Virginia's dog, Eric dog just sat there. Was it Eric's? No, yeah, that was Eric's.
Stick in the mud.
Eric's dog was just like, yo, are we walking or not? Okay, and Virginia's dog is like, well,
what we doing? What we doing?
What's going on here?
I don't like his attacks on her though about her dog. That's why I have to draw a line. First of all, stop talking about my baby. That's the first thing. You got a lot of slack. Your dog born just like you. You ain't got a personality, and the parts of personality that you do got still suck.
I do not like anybody attacking me as a dog daddy because I
feel deeply. Oh, did you come from my parenting?
I'm gonna tell you a story offline, but somebody came from my doggy parenting and I almost had a fit. And you know, I keep my pets, they get the best.
My mother told me at one point that she didn't think I was feeding my dog enough. And I was like, ma'am.
Girl, the way you was like, well, what's that thing you put in? Because you call around. That's how serious you are. That's how serious. I could attest with that.
How dare you? How dare you? And how dare you?
So I am nervous about them doing that, but I didn't get that she was upset about how he came back. I truly
she said that.
I felt like she was just like, it wasn't enough communication.
When she was gone, he did all this stuff. And when she came back and she was like, oh, this is really nice. Thanks for doing all of this stuff. And like the acknowledgement feels nice. When you go above and beyond and you want your partner to know.
I remember that part.
The acknowledgement is nice. She was upset because she felt like she did all of this stuff to anticipate him coming back and to really like show her investment. Like, I'm trying to do wifely stuff. Do you want me to do? And then you come in here and you ignore that I did it. And later she's like, well, I talked to him and he was like, he noticed it, but I guess he didn't say anything. Say something. Say something. Hype me up. I organized a Tupperware. Hype me up.
Say something about it.
Say something, child. Now I just be like, Buki, come in the kitchen. Look what I did today. Because he's not going to notice. But I need you to look at my Tupperware organization and then kiss me on the forehead and tell me I'm amazing.
I want some sloppy toppy after it all, but I will yell and say, babe, come and see this. But I'm with you. Same thing. So y'all,
problem.
I sure
do.
I sure do, and I'm not bad at it.
Okay, are we getting to the main event now? And I can't even call them the main event. They're just so tired.
You know what?
Tired.
There is a YouTuber who I like watching, and they call this show Chris and Friends. Okay, they say, here we are for another episode of Chris and Friends.
Chris and Friends.
Y'all,
Chris the Clown.
This is where my first, because I'm not gonna spend my soul, because this couple has actually disrupted people's spirits, y'all. If y'all look at other YouTubers, people's spirits have been really taken over and frustrated. I can watch. Yeah, it's. I was watching, and if you just do yourself a favor, I sent it to you, BB, already, but go watch Jessie Woo. Like, she's amazing. I love her takes. I love her recaps of it. But she says at this point, it's frustrating to even watch.
It's hurtful to watch.
It's just like, why? And to see this black woman, and Paige is not ugly. Now, I know some ugly women. Sorry, y'all. I have a lot of friends. I know some ugly women. Paige is not ugly. And I definitely like when she has her box braids. She could do whatever she want to do. Like, she could really do whatever she want to do. I love me, Paige. Woo. So, like, she's not ugly. She needs a self-esteem boost. She needs a self-esteem boost. And to watch this and watch her go through this and watch this man be so selfish and manipulative, because he preys off of girls like this. Episode 8. No. The fact that they're still even here filming anything is the abomination. That's the blasphemy right
of
there.
a generation, of Obama's generation, honey.
The fact that they're going around, we see most of the couples and they're talking, and then you see Paige and Chris, and all you see Paige doing, because she's in the apartment alone, because there's nothing else to talk about. There is no riffraff in the apartment. She got to move the pillows around. Because that's her story, living in that house. They owe production money for purchasing that apartment that only one person's occupying with 2 bedrooms. I can't. Y'all, and I said I wasn't going to get us vexed, but my spirit has been. Episode 8, you get them. He sits down, and Paige, actually, her storyline has been sitting down with the other ladies. She go to lunch over here. She go to lunch over here. Now she's sitting here. She's supposed to go to Clara's housewarming because she don't got nobody to warm her house up. Then she decides that she's telling the ladies, like, look, Chris invited me to go out to speak with him and his baby mama. In the beginning of the episode, Chris is talking to 2 pastors. One we have seen before, who always has that eyeliner outline that be melting. Yeah, that be melting on the screen.
I thought we saw both of them earlier, like at the wedding.
I only remember the one vividly because I thought he was fine. The Beijing one. I thought he was fine, but his barber doesn't know how to blend the Beijing so that it doesn't look like a natural hairline and cut. It looks like yeah, you gotta blend that Beijing.
You need a blender brush. You gotta splot.
Thank you. See, my barber, and I told him to stop using it on me because it does look like you got something else on there busy. But you gotta brush it in. You gotta after you do that, you gotta brush. There's a method to it. They don't know it in Atlanta. I'm sorry. So he sits down with them. He tried to tell them the story. Child, I guess he thought it was about to go one way, and it went a whole nother. They said,
you sound crazy.
We're not on your side.
No.
You're not letting this work. This is stupid. Why are you coming to us? I don't think you've given us a chance. How do you know the girl is pregnant? Are you sure about this? What I didn't like is that if this man is, and I say this all the time on my videos, so if y'all have never watched my videos before, go back to it. Justice for dark-skinned Black women. I don't need y'all out here saying you a trash man. This woman is a prize. Stay with the prize. Let her go be someone else's prize. Okay?
Who deserves her and wants to earn her and win her.
Because there's so many other things that dark-skinned Black women have to worry about. And I don't need this man being one of them. Okay? Colorism, racism, misogyny, low pay. There's so many things that dark-skinned Black women have to, just because of how they look and how they were born. Okay, I'm learning a lot. Y'all from Jesse Wu, I'm telling y'all, go subscribe to the channel. I'm even learning that I have been not the best advocate. But for people to advocate, you're so trash. And that woman is amazing. Okay? She's an accountant. She got one house in Renton and she living in another one. She's spiritual. Yo, do her dirty. Like, I don't need them to be advocating for him to stay with her. And it makes me so upset every time. She's an amazing woman and she needs to leave the show. What I did hear, the tea I heard was that everyone told her, because Married at First Sight is getting a lot of backlash, and they came out and was like, we told her to leave too. So I got to leave it alone at this point. Married at First Sight has come out themselves and said, we also told her to leave. So I can't be mad at them anymore. So he talking to them. That pastor with the melting hairline, he was like, this don't seem right. I don't understand.
Like that.
I don't
like that.
Then Chris decides he want to call Paige. I want to have a conversation with you and the baby mama. And I said, for what?
For what? Send me an agenda with outcomes and objectives. There is nothing to be accomplished.
What you need to talk about? What you need to talk?
There's literally nothing to be attained.
Paige need more energy. She needed 5-hour energy. What you gotta talk about? Like what? Tell me what you gotta say to me.
Why do you
Okay,
have
tell
that
me
knife, my friend? Tell me
because
about
this
this
is a,
knife.
this is how I be feeling.
Are you okay?
What you gotta say to me though? And I feel like that's the energy Paige needs for
So
what?
Paige does lots of things. I agree with my friends in the comments, right? Like it's hard to care about somebody who is not exhibiting care for themselves. But Paige, among other things, is too tentative. Right? She's super tentative with her comments about Chris. I just I feel like this relationship doesn't serve me right now. So I'm like, I don't think I want to be. No, I not ain't no I don't think I want to be here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is good. Friend, make a choice and stand in it. That is
Yeah.
what women do, right? You have to make a choice to protect yourself at some point, and this is why we keep coming back to self-esteem and self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I know that I am too good to be treated in a certain way, you can't do anything to get me to let you treat me like that.
You better
Because
tell it.
what you're doing is not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Period. It's not good enough. No, thank you. Keep it for somebody else who has lower standards. I don't need it.
Amen. And J Dub, and what I'm saying is, and I walked through life as a dark skinned black male, and I hate to put these polarizing aspects on us, but I am starting to realize more and more as more the more I start to read or listen to individuals. Like I know I had issues of colorism, um, but I'm a black male, a dark skinned black male, and my issues of colorism were different. Again, I told y'all in my story. Y'all need to go back to one of my story times. I didn't hear that I or my skin tone was sexy until I got to Howard University. And I
Hey,
would never forget this woman's name. Her name was
hey,
Balan Le
hey.
Salam. She walked up to me and she was like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "New York." And she was like, "No, but like, where's your family from?" And I was like, "New York." And she was like, "No, like your skin, like your melanin, like your skin is so smooth and this and that." And I was like, "Me?" That's just like yo, it's so rich and like amazing. That was the first time anyone ever, because I grew up in the B2K period where the girls like Lil B,
Y'all
they do.
little fish, bow
We need the light skin,
wow.
we need light skin, light eyes, long hair. We need the braids, we
Uh-huh.
need the waves. It was the first time in my life I had ever heard anybody be like, "Yo, you're like, I want my kids to have skin like yours." And then I started to value myself more and more throughout my matriculation at the university. And now I'm starting to read more and more about the plight of dark skinned black women. And I even played a role into it. And I was like, I didn't even realize I was treating women like that. Like colorism is a thing. And I highlight the fact that she's a beautiful, intelligent, educated, dark skinned black woman because I see her worth. And I don't want it to be mistaken for it being risen above or anything else. She deserves like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
She just
And she does
because.
not deserve less because she's dark skinned, is
And I
really the
see it,
point.
and I feel like that's what he want because that lady who came in there with that fresh press and she kept doing like this.
So Chris has an idea of what like trophy wife looks like. And I remember at the beginning when
Briana,
he said trophy wife, my husband and I were debating, does he mean smaller or does he mean lighter? And my husband was like, I think he means lighter
yes,
because and I was like, I think he means lighter and smaller. And I bet when we see the woman that he used to date, she's going to be light and she's going to be small, right? Because that is a more traditional, like accepted beauty in the Black community, unfortunately, back
yeah,
to colorism. And it doesn't make her any prettier, right? It's just what people have believed for a long time, which is dumb and unfounded, right? And now it's like, oh, dark skinned girls are beautiful. And I'm like, tell me something I have not been new for 30 years.
yeah,
But oh yeah, Ben. Colorism is hella old and
yeah.
actually impacts a lot of communities. It's not just Black people, Hispanic people deal with it, or Latinx people, sorry, deal with it, Asian people. It's a big thing.
Oh, let's look at me and Baby. We got the history and we got the language and we got the verbiage. If y'all need to be, if you take a math class at Howard University, you're gonna say, "Well, let's talk about
the Moors." Okay, because Dr. Nubia Kai-Salam is going to get you right together, and so Dr. Carr get you right together.
The history of water with Africa, with Africans, and how we got here. Just to even learn the psyche of why African Americans aren't too prone to swimming. Like, that's the thing. When people say black people don't swim, y'all, now it's a stereotype, but it's a historical reference and thing. Okay? Because as we were shipped over, we were dying in water. And
it's also a reference to access, because having access to pools and safe places to learn how to swim is a thing. Like, that's a middle class access thing. And Black people overwhelmingly have been poor in this country due to disenfranchisement, capitalization on our labor, free labor, all of that kind of stuff, right? So
put those things together.
We have had the access to be able to go to a pool and teach our children how to swim, right?
Put it all together.
It's all very layered.
And yes, I'm very don't get it twisted. BusyBlu is very melanin. They put as much melanin as they could. Sometimes I wish I was just a little bit darker. I love my skin tone. I really, really love my skin tone, but as I've gotten older, I've started to really, really love like darker, more melanin skin tones, like Trevante Rhodes.
Don't do this to me on the internet. You know I'm married. Don't do this to me on the internet.
It's like butter. It's so silky.
I put Trevante Rhodes. Let's go back to vision boards, because in 2018, at the end of 2018, I made my vision board for 2019. And on that vision board, Trevante Rhodes and Kofi Siriboe. And if you see my husband, he is chocolatey.
That is a chocolate
beard, man. Nice body. I said, Lord, let me manifest a good chocolatey man here.
Girl, you got him.
Nice teeth, nice beard, chocolatey, does his push-ups. Lord, send that to me.
He does do his push-ups.
He does do his push-ups, but don't you worry about his push-ups, because I already told you not to worry about my husband's push-ups.
Y'all know
I will come over to your house. I will come over.
I'm not busy tonight. All in love. I'll be listening after her, man. All in
I will kill you. I will literally kill you.
And she need a friend who's gonna be like, how can I make it work? She knows she can call me. It's like, how dare you let him leave our lives? Okay? You need to be.
That's how I feel about Tavon. I will kill you. Like,
we do feel like that about each other's friends.
If you let him go, I'll come over. If you don't fix this and fix it now, how dare you? How dare you? Also, I don't know if he's here, but that brownie cookie he made me last night, I enjoyed it this afternoon, and oh my God.
It was all right. So
he's the man I deserve.
Did we get to, let's swap, but then we got to turn yours gay. That's his birth. It's not going to happen.
I think that's going to be shaky for you, friend.
Yeah, I lose it.
And then we have to turn yours straight. I'm like, I do. One of the things I love about my husband is that he wants to touch my lady parts. And your husband's going to be like, ew, boobs.
He'll do everything else, though. You'll have the perfect mate. But he won't even look at him. So
no,
we got to stick with what we can stick with.
Ew. Cover those up.
So they have this conversation. The girl's looking like this. I did like when the girl was like, when Paige was like, I appreciate you, coming here, because there was a moment where I myself, Paige was petty. There was a moment.
There was
a moment where
I myself
thought that I could be pregnant. By who?
By who?
By Chris. Child, that girl turned around. And Chris was like,
Mercedes Merrick had questions.
And this one makes me feel like he's just a tangle, just with what a tangle web we weave. He's just the spider, blind spider. Okay, he just putting webs everywhere because that girl turned around was like, "You didn't tell me you was raw dogging anybody. You said y'all was just on this show for it's been 3 days. Y'all was on the show. You raw dogging people now." We'll talk because she kept going like this.
We'll talk.
I wish I was making this up. The girl kept doing this.
She did. Now she had to make sure she on national television. That sew-in had to be laying correct.
That was not sewn in.
What?
You think so? That looks like a fresh press, and she was trying to make sure that it stayed down, but it looked like
you pressed the leave out on the sew-in.
It didn't look like it was.
You can never spot a weave. It's not your.
It's not my.
No,
she looked like a Brazilian. It looked like a Brazilian bro.
Friend, I have been to her imports. She spent top dollar on it. That was some good hair. That was some good hair. If they know how to do anything in Atlanta, it's a bomb ass sew-in. It was a sew-in, guaranteed. Bet you $100. Sew-in, silk press on the top with the leave out. Definitely a sew-in. You think I don't know a good sew-in when I see it?
Girl,
honey, a good piece.
She kept doing this.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. And I know he's giving you he's talked to you guys about maybe us getting back together. I have no intentions of doing it.
I have no intent. That's not going to happen. Oh, that's not going to happen.
I love that.
No.
Paige, let me tell you something. You a better woman than I'll ever be because I would have laughed so loud in that.
So hard.
I would have been. What?
But then how are you not realizing that now in episode 9 when he's coming back to you talking about I want to work it out, that it's not a direct result of him thinking he was going to get back with Mercedes blowing him up in that conversation like, no, you're an idiot. That's never about to happen. And then coming back like, oh, well, I guess I could try to. No, you look crazy. Don't never come back to me after you try to get with somebody else.
Right.
And like I'm a runner up. Do I serve runner up? I'm serving runner up.
You better. You don't.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Crazy. So that whole scene to me was crazy. And the person who orchestrated, put together the meeting, what did he have to say, BB?
Not a thing.
Not one.
Not a thing. Not one thing of value, but does he ever? He came in with another Oshkosh Bagosh blouse. We're tired of it. Chris dresses like a lesbian with an hourly wage job. And I'm so tired of it. You look like an $8.50 an hour butch lesbian on divorce court. I'm tired of it. Because if you had all of that money, then why are you in this Hollister clearance section blouse?
I'm with you. Had to know, y'all.
First of all, Hollister is for children.
I'm not taking her today.
That's a children's store. It's literally made for children.
Y'all can take her. I'm not taking her.
It's not for adults.
I'm not taking her today. I promise you.
At least go to H&M. At least. You're telling me you can't swing by your neighborhood Zara, a Nordstrom Rack, Hollister, as in high school Hollister.
Y'all, he had the nerve to get frustrated. Y'all, we still episode 8, and he's like, I'm ready to go home. I'm and eat my food and do da. And girl, sorry, I get so frustrated when I'm talking about Chris.
When he said I'm irritated, and she said, whatever, Chris, you always irritated.
Girl,
because we're tired of it. We're tired of it. No one gets tired. You're always mad.
He got up and left. And this is what I don't understand. And women, love thyself just a little bit more. Because once he would have left me and her, now we just looking at each other dumb. You think you pregnant, I think I'm married, and now we trying to talk to each other about this little dick nigga. Girl, you want to go get a steak? I know a nice spot that I would have left with her and be like, girl, we really playing ourselves. I feel like there should be some type of camaraderie amongst women where it's just like, girl, he just left. You hungry? Girl, I know this really good spot. All girls love food, okay? Whether they're going to throw it up or even or not. All girls love food. Girl, did he really just leave us both here filming this scene? You ever had boudin? Girl, I know this really nice spot. You like crawfish? Girl, let's go.
I love the lesbians. I love the lesbians.
Let's go. Why are we sitting here?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they wrapped up the conversation fine, right? Right. But the whole thing, one, let's not say all women should, women love yourself more. Paige is not a representative of all of us, because I don't know many women who would have dealt with this past day 4.
Yeah.
First of all, after you had sex with me twice and went out to get breakfast and came back without breakfast, and then had the nerve to call me ugly when you got back and didn't even bring me no food, that's the end. First of all, we squaring up. Because where's the food? The least you could have done was bring me back some hash browns. You're playing. I don't like that at all. We're not doing that. Because that's the thing we keep sweeping under the rug. He came back and didn't bring no food. You've been gone for hours. You definitely could have got some food while you was out. I don't like that. Don't ever come back in here without no food. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that.
Then we get to episode 9, because me and BB didn't think we was gonna be in this long, and I'm surprised that even this many people rocking with us still. Like I'm really shocked.
We gotta go. We gotta shut it down. We coming up on 2 hours.
Do this in 5 minutes because I am ready to eat my food. So.
Oh yeah, I'm about to eat some of the food you made.
And Paige gets a call from the man whose hairline is always dripping, right?
Reverend Beijing.
Yeah, so she's talking to him, he's talking to her, and he's like he's telling her, I don't believe in what Chris is doing, like I'm on your side wholeheartedly, da. Boom, check it. Chris, his male ego is very fragile. Okay, fragile. Because he said down, Carter, Chris is notorious. You know how you ever work for a company and you like, this meeting could have been an email or a text message, or it could have been a Teams chat or something.
Mm-hmm. He just needed screen time. They just needed a scene.
Chris will call you and be like, can we sit down? I got something to talk about. You'll sit down with him.
No points. No talking points. Not a one bullet point. Not a note card, honey. Nothing scribbled down. Nothing.
I thought you so I heard you met with someone.
I heard you've been talking to people. Oh yeah. You've been talking to people. That's the part I didn't like. First of all, don't try to pop up on me and then do this like, oh yeah, like I'm supposed to be in shock or embarrassed or feel a way that you found out that I had a conversation with somebody. First of all, I'm a grown woman.
Amen.
I talk to who I want to talk to. You're not going to scare me or bully me out of talking to anybody. And it was your friend, Reverend Beijing, who wanted to talk to me. But either way, you don't bring that back up, because I already proved on day 2 when I told your mama about what you did at that brunch. I will tell. I'm telling. No, because remember I said, a lot of men want to be F-boys, but they want to do it in private, right? They want to do it behind closed doors. No, I'm telling your mother. I'm telling your friends. Because we need to know when F-boys are walking among us.
Yes.
Okay?
We need to know.
I will ruin Christmas. I don't care anything about Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, Hanukkah, none of that. I'm telling you, because you don't get to treat me any kind of way, and then everybody else think you a good dude. Mind you, I just started rewatching Insecure, and today I saw the episode when Tasha told Lawrence, "You a F boy who thinks he's a good dude."
Yep.
See that? No, and it was the quote, the check of a generation. You hear me? No more, and that's on Tasha. That's on Tasha because it's not going to be no more of that out here. It's not going to be no more of that. That's over. That's canceled. We telling. We checking and we telling.
Listen, it's a public service. You got to.
It is a public service for the community.
Well, the conversation doesn't go well. Oh, sorry.
We telling.
The conversation doesn't go well in the beginning.
Are you okay? Put the knife down.
Sorry.
I think you should put the knife down.
Then the producers say, "Well, girl, just go see what he got to say. Finish it out. At least tell him you'll never talk to him again." First of all, whoever that producer is, they need a raise. I ain't gonna hold you. They kept this girl. If she's not this dumb in real life, and they kept her here, whoever that producer is who worked with her specifically, because they all have their own producers that have, it's my job to make sure you stay here. Whoever that producer is specifically, give him a pay ball.
They do, because it wouldn't be nothing you could say to me.
Yeah, like
I'm like, y'all can turn this into like celebrity death match, and we could like.
I can get Paige to
kill
come
each
here
other first. Yeah, like I mean, I could come if you let me slap him, but I'm still not allowed to slap people. Oh, I'm not coming.
For whoever this producer is, and because Busy does love behind the scenes work. Like it's my passion. I love everybody who does all the work behind the scenes. Whoever the producer is specifically for Paige, give that bitch a raise. But she did say.
We did say.
She said, "Well, at least go back and tell him. Go, okay, just one more scene. Tell him, don't ever call me again." Paige was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. She sat down. This man, he put his phone away. He got his F-boy juice ready.
Ready. In that tiny shirt.
I'm afraid I'm making a bad mistake. And I'm afraid that I'm losing out on one of the best women I've ever met. On one hand, I don't want my child to be raised by someone else. And, as a man, as a black man, for them to be pushed aside and never know me. But then to be pushing my wife aside and never giving this a chance that I know you deserve. I think that we need a reset. I said, Paige, girl, leave. Paige, leave. Leave, Paige, leave. Yo, he kept saying, I'm afraid, yo.
My eyes could have rolled out of my actual head and just went down the street. When she said, I think we need a reset, and they turned on that hopeful music, I said, wait just a goddamn minute. I know. I think my husband said, are we seeing what I think we said? I said, we are seeing what you think we.
Yo, and to be honest, and I hate to break this wall like that because I want people to enjoy the show for the show. Y'all need to give the producer their flowers. Whoever is who I don't know the production company, and I should look into it because I love Truly. Production entertainment, they do Atlanta and Potomac. I never looked into who produces this show. Whoever is Paige's producer specifically, Y'all need
They
to give her
doing work.
flowers.
They doing work. They doing work for sure. They doing work for sure. But unfortunately, in the quest to do their job, they're encouraging a lot of hurtful foolishness. Yeah. And Paige has to set better boundaries, because even if for the show I needed to go back in and do another scene and continue to talk to him, the answer is never going to be, we need a reset. No one made you say that, right? Yeah. You are being open to nonsense because you are just fine with somebody messing over you. And that's a personal issue. Can't no producer make you let somebody mess over you.
Yeah.
It's just not possible.
She's letting it happen.
She just hot take. I struggles with the Christians, and I am a Christian myself. But people who cling too close to that Bible without expressing any level of critical thought are scary, right? It's extreme. Preach. It's extreme. You sound crazy. Oh, the God ordained it. Girl, this is a TV show. Did he really?
Girl,
he ordained it?
God be doing his work. He'd be like, wait, see how I just get brought into this? I didn't say nothing.
You think God put y'all together, but God is not trying. Ain't nobody seen The Color Purple. Maybe God is trying to tell you something, because he done told you a lot, and you ignore. Maybe God is trying to tell you something right now. Okay, you are ignoring God. You're ignoring him, and you don't think God takes offense to that. You're being very disrespectful. He's showing you all kinds of nonsense. You are here like, no God, no God, no God. You don't listen. You don't watch. The Bible says you gotta watch.
You gotta watch.
You gotta watch. Okay, the Bible says you gotta watch.
You gotta watch.
You gotta watch. Okay, you gotta watch it.
We want to thank everybody who has rocked with me and BB throughout this whole 2 hours we have been on. Yo, BB, I'm gonna end this and then I'll text you after, but I'm gonna play this video as we end out. If you want to know more about me and everything that's going on, you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter, BusyBlu, no space, no E. You can also find me on Facebook, BusyBlu, where you don't get anything exclusive. I was lying to y'all, and what 9 out of 33, I gotta tell y'all the truth. Nothing extra comes there. BB, tell the people where they can find you.
You can actually find exclusive content on my YouTube. Nobody puts BB in a corner. I will upload another video actually right when I get off of here. It's done. I just need to put it up, and I was dragging my feet. And also, I have to be really honest on the internet, and that's taking a lot of courage. You can find me on Twitter at BB, and on Instagram at nobodyputs_BB_ in a corner. Thank you for everybody who's following my YouTube channel and all of my other social medias. I really appreciate it, especially those who follow me on Twitter. Wednesday nights are very live. I like to live tweet Married at First Sight. So if you watch the tweets during Married at First Sight, I'm pretty active on there, and it's a good time. So thank you all for rocking with us. It's been a long night. I'm glad we started so much earlier. I'm not falling asleep, and I'm not yawning. I gotta go to bed. That's like true. Clara. I go to bed when Clara go to bed.
True.
Love you.
Talk to you tomorrow. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna play the trailer for the mid-season review. You guys enjoy it, and then we will see you guys next week. Bye, y'all.